The Local 3 Storm Alert Team, accurate forecast for your day.
We're on the cusp of Valentine's Day, a time for love and giving to those who are nearest and dearest to you. Often, that can mean giving a piece of jewelry. So yes, we're going to talk jewelry this morning, but we're really talking a greater type of love because we're talking with the folks from Love's Arm Ministry this morning. Enza Hagens-Dyer is the executive director, is that right? At Love's Arm. Lorraine Hoffman has Brillante Jewelry, so that's the jewelry component. And I've just found out that this whole event we're talking about coming up on February 11th was kind of a happenstance because you, Enza, happened to go into Lorraine's store not knowing you were going to find Lorraine. Your daughters were like college roommates and friends for a long time. So.
Yes, and I'd lost touch with Lorraine after our daughters graduated, and I saw this new jewelry store in the Hickson area, and I thought, let me go in there for a little bit. And I saw Lorraine, and we just, it was as if we had never stopped seeing each other.
Well, I wanted to tell that part of the story because I think that's fun, and I think it speaks to kind of the power of what y'all are doing now on February 11th, because the truth is, Enza, everybody in the community should be interested in what you're doing at Love's Arm.
Yes, absolutely. Love's Arm, for those of you who don't know, is an organization that helps women survivors of trafficking, prostitution, and addiction in the Chattanooga area. And we're one of the oldest organizations here that has been serving this particular population. We have 6 programs that help with restoration and recovery. And, love is in the air. We talk about that. I'm a loveaholic. And all of this all ties in because what we find that these women need more than anything is love. I think back to growing up, and one of the worst names that you could be called as a woman is a prostitute. If you got that label on you, it was terrible. And you would hear people say, why is she doing that? Why does she look like that? All those types of questions. What we've learned to ask is what happened to you. And when you do that, that's when you get all of these stories. And when we ask that question at Love's Arm, by the way, it was founded by Mimi Nickel, herself a survivor. And when she started this organization and began asking those questions, what we found, and it was backed up in a study that was done by the Mayor's Council on Women, is that there is a common denominator with women who end up in trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. And that common denominator is not something that we like to talk about, but it has to do with early childhood trauma. Almost all experience some type of early childhood sexual trauma, abuse of some sort that led to all sorts of things. And people say, well, what's the connection between early trauma and prostitution, addiction, and trafficking? Well, that trauma,
your brain is impacted. I mean, you never move past that. Time goes on, but your brain is kind of stuck in that moment.
It is, and we know that it can often lead to all sorts of mental health issues, addiction, poor decision making, etc.
So I want to bring Lorraine in because when you opened your store, was it just October? May. So you were very intentional when you opened it. It was kind of a new start for you. You had had another career in the past, then you opened Brillante, and you didn't just open the store. What attracted you to the space was there was an area where you could have events. So this was then serendipitous that Enza should come in because now you can house this event that's coming up. What are you doing?
Yes, we're February 11th. We're going to have this event from 10 to 3, and we're calling it Sip and Shop, where ladies and men can come in and do some shopping and enjoy some hanging out and meeting and making new friends. But we're very intentional too about raising funds, support for Love's Arm. And we will have raffle tickets that the participants can buy. And we're going to also have incentives like if you buy some jewelry. I have a co-host named Lisa Sims who's bringing beauty products, maybe some body butters and perfume and red lipstick for Valentine's Day. And if you buy some of those products, you'll get extra raffle tickets in the that goes in the glass bowl. And then there will be giveaways, and it's really beautiful because in the giveaway baskets are some of the things that the survivors of sex trafficking and prostitution have made some things, and we're going to include their candles and their lovely candles that we're going to put in there along with some beauty products and some sparkle.
So with the event on that Saturday, can someone just come by, or do you ask that they RSVP?
No, it's just a drop-in from 10 to 3. Yes.
Okay.
And I have that event space, and that's what I like to do, is just give it away to the community. I've had lots of functions there that I've hosted as well as others have hosted, and so I'm thrilled that Insa and I are back together, and this will become a tradition every year.
I want to pick back up with I don't have a lot of time left,
Yeah,
Insa,
that's okay.
but it is kind of remarkable. So I'm in my early 50s. I can look at what life was like in the 70s and 80s, and we've come a long way.
We have.
A very long way, and lots of arenas. But there really did used to be a time where there was like this wall of protection that you would put around your family. Don't talk to him, don't talk to her, their walk is not ours, kind of stay in your lane, so to speak.
Of course.
It's amazing the difference it can make by just changing the perspective and asking the question, not why are you choosing to do this, but what happened to you.
Absolutely. And the other thing, what Lorraine is doing is so remarkable, because you may have heard that Chattanooga is said to be the #2 hub of sex trafficking in the Southeast. Well, that's a terrible statistic, but what's wonderful is the way this community has responded. Businesses like Lorraine that reach out to organizations like ours, and by the way, we're not the only one. There are several organizations that I could name here that are also addressing sex trafficking. But we are all as successful as the community allows us to be.
Well, to think that you can go and have fun with your friends, bring your husband, whatever you choose to do, leave perhaps with some prizes or something that you choose to purchase from Lorraine's beautiful store, all to give back to Love's Arms. So February 11th, the place to be is Brillante Jewelry. What's the location,
It is in
Lorraine?
Hickson, 1948 North Point Boulevard. It's that cut through between Hickson Pike and 153.
Gotcha.
And there'll be balloons and there'll be signs, so you'll know exactly where to go.
Okay, perfect. And then you can learn more about Love's Arm by going to their website, which is lovesarmoutreach.org. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When it comes to your health, local matters. Count on Local 3 News for expert local advice to help you stay well, live better, and raise a healthy family. Watch Eye on Health with Latrice Curry, Thursdays at 5 on Local 3 News.